Well, from good to bad, deputies have to be prepared to handle just about any type of situation out there and to make sure that his staff is a cut above the rest. Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott requires deputies to take some extra tests. Jennifer Tomazik has more.
Because you never know what may come your way, Sheriff Lott wants to make sure that every corner is covered. One deputy tells me had it not been for her training, she might not be here today. Wheels, bullets, and physical strength.
And law enforcement today is a lot different than it was 30-something years ago when I started.
As times have changed, so have the expectations of officers and Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott's requirements. Everything from defensive driving,
help them up, step up. I got you. 204.
To a fitness exam.
And this is over and above what we have to do. This is not something that's required. This is something that we feel like we need to do so we'll have the best officers.
All to keep you safe.
Let me see both your hands. Put them out the window. Let me see both your hands.
You thank God every day that you have training instructors that take the time to show us what we need to do to make us better deputies.
Master Deputy Kelly Hendrick is proof that practices like high and low risk car stops and night shooting are working.
I got into a situation last year where I had to fire my weapon.
But sound shooting was nothing new.
The training that we go through, you usually have an instructor standing behind you, and I heard his voice in my ear the whole time, telling me, you know, trigger control, breathe, don't rush, and don't anticipate.
Here it is. The alert.
The moment Deputy Hendrick's fingers touched the trigger, she knew her training would guide her through.
So it's very valuable to me as far as the shooting goes. I take that very seriously.
And even if that means having to do it twice to pass,
1 and 8, we'll put in 18 and 20.
Deputy Hendrick does it willingly if it means keeping you safer.
This is a big part of your job. If you don't know how to shoot, if you get into a situation and you're not a proficient shooter, then it could mean losing your life.
We want them to use their brains. They have to know how to talk to people.
Step out of the vehicle now!
That's why deputies are also required to go through different scenarios on the road.
Step out of the vehicle now!
Which gives them an opportunity to learn from each other.
Treat them just like you would want your brother, your sister, your mother, or dad treated.
I'd rather be safe than sorry, and I want to make sure that I go home and that my fellow deputies go home at the end of every shift.
The night shooting and high and low risk car stops are just a couple of Sheriff Lott's requirements. In part 2, one of my colleagues and I see if we have what it takes to be a deputy.
To serve and protect, that's the motto that law enforcement officers live by. But have you ever wondered what kind of training they actually go through to be able to live up to that standard? Last night, in part 1 of our Fit to Serve series, Jennifer Tomazik showed us just how night shooting training saved the life of one Richland County deputy. But as you're going to see in tonight's report, that's not their only yearly requirement.
If you've ever seen any Richland County deputies, they're in shape, and that's because Sheriff Lott requires them to pass a fitness test every 6 months, and I'll tell you, it's not easy to ace.
Sir! Whoa, sir! Let me see your hand.
You've seen the road scenarios and the night shooting. This is training the state mandates all deputies go through each year.
Laws change, and as we have new things that happen in law enforcement, we have to be up to date on it.
But Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott wants his staff to be a cut above the rest, so he requires extra drills that my coworker Susan O'Kane and I tried our hands and feet at.
Get your seatbelts on, kids. This is going to be a ride.
Our first requirement of the 3-day Phase 2 exam, the brake test.
It's not just a Sunday drive out here when you're working. You know, you actually have a weapon that you're in charge of. That car, you can hurt people with that car.
While driving at 45 miles per hour, we must come to a complete stop in front of the orange cones to pass.
Get here. All right. We're going to control the acceleration. All right, go.
While the anti-lock brakes kick in rather quickly, the distance it takes a car to actually stop is much longer than you'd remember from driver's ed. It's nearly 100 feet.
Brake. There you go. Good job.
Nonetheless, both Susan and I can say we are defensive drivers.
You got 6 minutes and 18 seconds. 6 minutes and 18 seconds to complete this test.
Being in shape is the core of law enforcement. That's why Richland County deputies must pass a physical fitness test every 6 months. If they fail 3 times, they're fired. And I can tell you, it's not a walk in the park.
Where'd you go to high school?
1340 Park Lane Road. Remembering the address throughout the test was the easy part.
Push up, push up, push up. There you go.
In less than 2 minutes, I learned where my weakness was, while Susan
5 more.
found out she's stronger than she thought.
1010 Betts Road.
514, you passed.
You have to have basic physical fitness to be able to do your job. You can't go out and protect yourself, protect your fellow officers, or protect citizens unless you have that basic physical fitness.
Come on, Kelly.
2.
And being in shape lets Master Deputy Kelly Hendrick concentrate on the more dangerous aspects of her job.
You can never have too much training out here. You know, you never know what you're going to encounter from one day to the next. Like I said, one day could go smoothly and the next day you could, you know, potentially be in a dangerous situation.
The Orangeburg County Sheriff's Department also has a physical fitness requirement, and beginning the first of the year, the Sumter County Sheriff's Office will require the test as well.